Welcome to Gone Outdoors. Kyle Agre and Scott Brewer of Brewer Agre Outdoors. Talking hunting, talking fishing, and talking anything you can do outdoors for the next hour right here on Kello News Talk 1320, 107.9 FM, and KWSN 1230 AM, 98.1 FM, both out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and the mighty 790 KFGO Fargo 104.7 FM. Today's Gone Outdoors is brought to you by Ray's Sport Marine, your local Lund Boats and Bennington pontoon dealer in Moorhead. RaysMarineMoorhead.com. Adventure RV across from the Fairgrounds in West Fargo, your number one RV dealer in the FM area. AdventureRVSales.com. Devil's Lake Tourism, looking for wide open spaces, amazing fishing, and a refreshing escape? Discover Devil's Lake, where adventure, relaxation, and North Dakota hospitality come together. Plan your stay today at devilslakend.com. Line-X of Fargo. This is Line-X country, home of the adventurous. And Onyx Fish Midwest. Cast beyond the familiar. Well, Mr. Brewer, we would open the show oftentimes talking about the current weather this past week, but I don't even know where to begin here. Do we talk about the blustery, windy, snowy weekend we had last weekend, the almost spring-like warm melt we had in between, or another blast of winter here this weekend, or leading into the weekend anyway? I don't know. It's been up and down.
In between a couple of different times. I mean, Tuesday was beautiful. Thursday wasn't too bad. Cold on Wednesday, cold again now. I mean, Mother Nature just can't quite understand where she wants to be right now. But, Kyle, in some ways that's kind of fine because January, a lot of people think January and February are the coldest months of the year. And every time we get one bonus day, just one bonus day, which we've had a couple this last week. If you have one bonus day, I mean, that's one less day of hard winter that we have to deal with, and I'll take it. I'm fine with it. My only concern is some of those nice days, it sounds like, are messing with the ice conditions a little bit.
Yeah, in certain areas, it seems like they've had some issues with the ice.
Yeah. So we should probably say once again, like we do pretty much every week, the ice is never 100% safe. You got to be careful all the time. Even if you're driving a truck, that doesn't mean that it's going to be safe across the entire lake. So watch where you're going, please.
Yeah, absolutely. Be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of the conditions. And, outside of that, Scott, we were out in a little bit of that blustery, windy, snowy weather last weekend. But nonetheless, the fish were there, and as a group, we went out with some of our Brewer Agre Outdoors crew, and we ended up taking a few fish home for the table.
Yeah, we certainly did. Especially the guys that were willing to go out and chase after them. They did really well. The guys that decided to fish old school, just sit and wait for them. It was a little bit slower, but that's all right too. It's kind of more like historic ice fishing where you just kind of sit around and wait and visit and have a good time. So there's a little bit of everything that's going on. But yeah, if you want to get out there and chase after them, you can certainly catch a lot of fish right now.
Yeah, it was good despite the conditions. It was a good day on the ice, couple days on the ice really, and good to be hanging out with the crew again and getting everybody together. And speaking of getting together, Scott, we've got some events coming up here the next couple of weeks. Again, just to emphasize, January is not a time to go hibernate. There's things to do, and not just fishing, but fishing related and lots of fun stuff. Starting here this coming week, Tuesday night in Fargo, Wednesday night in Bismarck, we are going to be doing our Lake Winnipeg ice fishing seminar. Scott, this is a seminar you and I have done for many, many years.
Yeah, it certainly is. We've had a lot of experiences up there. We by far do not know it all. We learn every time we go. That's kind of the fun of it. And that's really what we do at these seminars is we've been there many, many times, and we just share our experiences so that to people that haven't been there very often, or even if you have, even if you've been there 25 times, there's probably some things that we've learned that you haven't learned. And I guarantee you there's stuff that you guys know that we don't know. And that's the beauty of this. That's the beauty of getting together as fishermen, is we all learn from each other. And that way, the next time, our next trip will be more fun, more eventful, or less eventful, so to speak. And just like you, your trip, when that the next time, you'll have more time to fish, less time fixing broken stuff. And hopefully it'll be more successful as well.
Yeah, I hope to see a lot of folks out there. Go to the shields.com website to get registered for those events in Fargo and in Bismarck. And
but Kyle, it's not just ice fishing talk this week, because come next weekend, we're going to be at the Fargo Dome talking boats, talking summer fishing. So we're going to make a quick about face and talk about ice fishing for a couple of days. And we'll be at the Fargo Dome talking summer fishing, talking Lund Boats, Mercury Motors, and just everything summer, everything fun. And hopefully might be able to get a couple people into that boat that their family is going to be enjoying for many years to come.
Yeah, and we're actually going to start this show here, Scott. We've got a special guest later on in this episode of Gone Outdoors, and we'll kind of kick off that open water preparation season. Let's call it that. We don't have open water right now, but we certainly are starting to think about it. That is for sure. And Scott, the weekend after, 2 weeks from now, we've got the Brainerd Ice Fishing Extravaganza. I sure hope a lot of our listeners are headed over to Brainerd for that event. We've talked a lot about it. You and I have both been there multiple times, and certainly not, that is just such a great event. A lot of fun out on the ice with 10,000 of your best friends, ice fishing and enjoying and supporting a great cause. For some that will not be in Brainerd, we hope that you are going to be with us up at the Men on Ice weekend. Fellowship, Faith, Friends, and Fishing up on Red Willow Lake. We're going to have a guest talking about that event as well here very soon. So, yeah, we got some fun things coming up, and we've got some great guests for this week's show, Scott. As we mentioned, Pastor Ben Jacobson here from Fargo Hope Lutheran Church in Fargo. They are the host organization for Men on Ice. He's going to give us a little more detail for those who might be interested in joining us up there on that lake, and really a weekend to recharge our batteries and get ourselves in a good place as we continue to go on into the new year here and make the best out of the time we have this season. And we're going to be talking to a real special guest after that. We'll talk to the DNR commissioner from the state of Minnesota, Sara Strommen. Recently, the DNR held their annual DNR Round Table. We're going to hear more about that event, kind of what its purpose is and what is involved with it, as well as some of the real highlights of what they're going to be doing here going forward with the DNR's agenda for our outdoors in the state of Minnesota. Jeromie Johnston, as I mentioned, Lund Boat Company. He is the president of Lund Boats, and he's going to join us and talk a little bit about some of the exciting things they have coming down the pipe in terms of fishing boats, recreational boats, family boats, all of the above. And they've got something for everybody. It's going to be fun to hear what Jeromie has to say. Folks, we do have to take a quick break, but Scotty and I will be back after, and we're going to be talking a whole lot of Gone Outdoors.
Looking for somewhere to get all your fishing information in one place? Onyx Fish Midwest has something for you. Search for new fishing areas with filtering features such as species, abundance, trophy potential, lake survey info, regulations, and area insights are just a click away.
Getting to your target lake has never been easier with access points and public land ownership clearly marked on Onyx Fish. Mark and customize waypoints and weather for your exact location. Use code BA Outdoors to get 20% off Onyx Fish Midwest at onyxmaps.com.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Gone Outdoor Radio. You're listening on Kello News Talk or KWSN in Sioux Falls or the mighty 790 KFGO in Fargo Moorhead. Scotty Brewer, Kyle Agre, Brewer Agre Outdoors. And on this segment, we are going to chat with Ben Jacobson. He is a pastor at Hope Lutheran Church in Fargo, and we're going to talk about the Men on Ice event. How are you doing, Ben?
Oh man, I'm doing well, Scott. It's good to be back on.
So we definitely need to say, let's start out with this, that in your intro, we said you're a pastor at Hope Lutheran. And this event, Men on Ice, which is a Christian men's fishing outing, is not just for people at Hope Lutheran, correct?
You are absolutely right, Scott. We've had people from all over come to this event and enjoy time fishing, but also diving into, getting to know other men and having a chance to talk faith. But yeah, absolutely. This event is for men and young men and boys of all ages. A lot of times we get generations that come to this event. You get fathers and sons and grandsons and all that, which is just great to see. So yeah, anybody who's listening, this is a men's event and you are invited to come and be a part of it.
Okay, so let's get the details out here real quick, then we'll talk about it a little bit more. We're looking at January 30th and February 1st at Red Willow Bible Camp. So that is kind of central North Dakota, east central North Dakota, I guess I would call it. So if you're within driving distance and you want to go hang out with some guys and get dive a little deeper into your faith, do a little fishing, eat some good food, make some new friends, this event is for you. Ben, how did Men on Ice start? And I know this story,
Boy,
but I'm going to ask you.
you know the story well. It started before my time at Hope, and it started before my time with these events. So you probably know the story better than I do, Scott. But we have a summer men's event where we go and we fish out on Devil's Lake. But I think guys wanted more chances to connect, and so this is just another opportunity to gather around one of those winter pastimes that we love. We have to embrace winter in this part of the world, and maybe we get to embrace winter. And so maybe there's more of the story there, Scott.
Well, I honestly, I one of the things that I think is important to get out, and that story is exactly accurate. It grew from the success of Men in Boats, and now we're still fishing. Still the same motto: fellowship, faith, friends, and fishing. Great food and family too. We've added that to the tagline. But it's in the wintertime, like you say, we get to embrace winter. And I think it's important to note that if we have folks listening in and, you know what, sounds like a really great event, but I don't have an ice auger and I don't have a portable fish house and I don't have all of those things that it sounds like people need to get out on the ice. It really doesn't matter because we've got plenty of guys that are going to bring along some extra and are more than willing to share. So that really, truly, I think is part of the spirit of welcoming an invitation for this event.
Yeah, Kyle, that's I think you hit on one of the things I just love about these events is that this is about camaraderie and time together and learning. You might learn something about life. You probably will. You'll definitely learn something about fishing. A couple of years ago, actually, I got a call, and it was a guy who had never been on the ice in his life, and he'd never ice fished. And he said, can I come? I said, of course you can. And I think he might have fished with one of you guys and ended up whacking some walleyes and having a great time. And so, yeah, that part's not guaranteed, but the chance to put a line in the water is guaranteed. And so, if you don't have rods or reels or augers or all the stuff you need to get started, what a great way to try it out.
Yeah, and a really welcoming crowd. And Ben, your story, I know exactly the person you're talking about. And here's a neat little addition to that story. This year at the St. Paul Ice Show, having dinner at a restaurant near the XL Center in St. Paul downtown there. And this gentleman came walking up to Scott and I and was so excited to see us. He was at the ice fishing show after having been at Men on Ice, so excited about it. He saw us, we made that connection. We're able to visit, and he's planning on being back this year.
That's funny. So if he was at the ice show, he's probably got an auger now.
He does.
Yep. He got bit by the bug. So
They say that can happen.
Ben, probably my favorite memory from Men on Ice was a couple of years ago. One of the gentlemen that was there had never been baptized, and we all sat around or stood around on the lake while you baptized him from a hole. We drilled a hole in the ice, and you baptized him from that hole in the ice. And it was a memory that I will never, ever, ever forget. And I thank you very much for that memory.
Yeah, that's not only one of my favorite memories from these events, but maybe just one of my favorites in life. What a powerful moment, and then just the calm of the day around that moment, and then we got a couple guys who are fairly decent singers, and we opened up and sang Amazing Grace, and just powerful stuff.
It is. It's we've said it for many, many years. This event is one of those events where you can go to and you walk away feeling like your batteries are charged. You physically have a chance to rest and not follow a strict schedule. Spiritually, you get a chance to be uplifted and really feel like you've got some energy when you go home. And it's all in part to the whole event, but events like when Mike was baptized there on the ice. I want to make sure that folks listening know that we don't go away hungry either. We have Joe Delvo, who is just a fantastic, generous person who comes along and cooks. And I know we've got another great menu planned for this year as well.
Absolutely. Prime rib is always a feature. And Joe showed me the slab of prime rib the other day, so I can guarantee that it's ready to go. That's another one of my favorite memories, Scott, is sitting next to you. And I had this slab of prime rib that I think was bigger than my head, and I somehow managed to eat it. I'm still full from that day.
So, Ben, what we're talking about is Men on Ice. We're trying to talk anybody that would like to come, please. You can go to fargohope.org/men/ to sign up. Or you can follow Men on Boats on Facebook. Not Men on Ice. Men on Ice does not have its own Facebook page, but we work under the Men in Boats page, so you can go to Men in Boats. And you'll also get updates then if you're interested in the summer trip. But we're looking for, if you want to come out by yourself, if you want to come out with your father, your son, your grandson, your brother, your uncle, your coworkers, your neighbors, anybody, bring them. Have a good time. We'll have good food. We'll have hopefully some good fishing. The fishing is always good. The catching, we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
And hopefully the Mother Nature's nice to us, and it should be a great weekend.
Yep, I think you nailed all the high points there. If anyone's wondering, you want to know more about the event, you can visit fargohope.org/men. Or you could give us a call at the church office as well, and we'd love to talk you through it. And that number is 701-235-6629, or look us up, Hope Lutheran Church, and we'd love to help answer any questions that you have.
Ben, we really appreciate you coming on Gone Outdoors, and we will see you in a couple of weeks.
Hey, sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Stick around. We will be back with more Gone Outdoors after this short break.
Experience unrivaled power with the Ion Alpha Ice Auger. Choose from the Steelbit Alpha or the Ultralight Alpha Plus.
Available in 1 or 2 battery configurations, the 8-inch model cuts an incredible 1,200 inches of ice on a single charge, blazing through at 3.4 inches per second. The 10-inch model drills 1,200 inches at 2.2 inches per second. It's called the Alpha for a reason.
Find yours at your local retailer or visit ioniceaugers.com. Welcome back to the second half of this morning's Gone Outdoors. Kyle Agre and Scott Brewer of Brewer Agre Outdoors, talking hunting, talking fishing, and talking anything you can do outdoors here on Kello News Talk and KWSN in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and the mighty 790 KFGO Fargo. We are extremely excited to be able to welcome a very special guest to Gone Outdoors. We have with us this segment, again, she's been here before, our Minnesota DNR Commissioner, Sara Strommen. Sara, thank you for spending some time with us this morning.
Oh, it is my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
You know, we talk on our show about hunting, fishing, and anything you can do outdoors. And oftentimes with our guests, we have to drill down a level or two, even within those topics to really get to what we're talking about. But I am excited because we're going to really talk about something that covers all of those bases. And that is a recent event that was hosted by you and the Minnesota DNR as the Minnesota DNR Round Table. And I just I had the privilege of being able to attend for the first time. And I just had to make sure that our listeners heard about this. Can you share just a little bit of the history, what brought this event to be and how long it's happened, and just give us a little bit of that story?
Yeah. So DNR Roundtable is, it's been going on for decades. And really, I think at its core, it's about connecting with Minnesotans around a variety of outdoor topics to make sure that as the public agency that's managing natural resources, we are in touch with the public and making sure that our decisions and the way that we are managing those resources are in tune with values that people hold, and that there's an opportunity for dialogue. So we call it the DNR Roundtable. It's historically been primarily fisheries roundtable, wildlife roundtable, and then ecological and water resources roundtable. And so we do some topics in each of those kind of focus areas, and then some of the topics span more department level issues.
I had to say, I was expecting obviously a professionally run event. Certainly wouldn't think anything less out of the DNR, but my expectations were just blown out of the water. The content, the information, and just the scope of what was covered was amazing. Just a huge kudos to you and to your entire staff. I know that didn't just happen by itself. So thank you for making that happen for all of those who attend and all those who are touched by the natural resources in Minnesota.
Yeah, well, we are fortunate. We have an amazing team at DNR, and the planning team for this event has really, I think, dug in to make sure that there are opportunities not only for people to get information from DNR experts, but importantly to participate and share their ideas. And so each of the sessions are carefully planned to achieve both of those things. And they're really attuned to feedback we get every year from people, both in terms of format and function and topics that people are most interested in. And then I also have to say kudos to all of the participants, because without people coming and being willing to share ideas respectfully, to have, discussion about maybe where there are commonalities and themes, but also where there are differences in how Minnesotans view natural resource issues, that is incredibly important to the success of this event.
Yeah, it was evident that not everybody had the exact same picture in their mind. There were different perspectives, but gosh, everybody was so respectful, and it was just great to have that dialogue. I really, really appreciated it.
Hey, Sara, there's stakeholders, conservation leaders that are there. You had 400 people that were invited to this, but you also had some just general public that wanted to be there, some guys and gals that wanted to give their input or just find out what's going on. And that's something that you guys recently have changed, correct?
That's true. Yeah. This used to be an invitation only event, and I think interest has continued to grow every year. And, we wish everybody could come, but, spaces have limitations on people. And so one of the things we did was to keep some of the invitations kind of invitation only, because we have key organizational partners and conservation leaders, as you noted, that we want to make sure they're part of the discussion. And we keep a certain number of the spaces open to a first come, first serve basis. So we do the invitations first, and then the seats that are not filled through that, plus the ones that we've reserved for first come, first serve, get announced through a public announcement, and people can go to the website. And typically the spaces have filled pretty quickly because there's a lot of interest. But I think it's very important to us to make sure that the public has that opportunity to come and participate.
It is great. What a great forum. What a great mix of people there in that room and in that building. One of the things I took away is the program called For the Outdoors. And I think this is really something worth sharing with our listeners today. If you wouldn't mind just sharing a little bit about what that program is potentially going to be, and some of the benefits that it could bring.
Yeah, so we're really excited about this initiative. It was something actually that I launched at Roundtable a number of years ago in 2021. And the idea was to think about the future, a proactive future for funding conservation and outdoor recreation in Minnesota. And so the initial phase really delved in, getting feedback from Minnesotans, and we developed a plan for 4 steps in 4 years. And it was about, one of those steps was around making more efficient the funding we have. Another step was around fees. Another step was around direct support, so people either volunteering time or providing donations. And then the last one was about what are other funding sources that could provide stable and base funding. And so in that last step, one of the opportunities we've been exploring most closely has been something called an outdoor recreation endorsement, and this is the one we talked about at Roundtable. And essentially what it is, it's a model that other states have used, and it is a way for people to contribute to conservation and outdoor recreation when they either register their vehicle or renew their vehicle tabs. And so it is a very easy process. When you go to renew your vehicle tabs, there is a space in that renewal process that says, do you want to contribute, an amount to DNR? And if you check yes, that gives you an endorsement that goes on your license plate. And that endorsement on your license plate becomes your entry to state parks and recreation areas. So instead of that windshield sticker, it will now be on your license plate. Plus, it also generates enough money that it provides some stable base funding for other units of our outdoor recreation system. And so really it is an incredible model that states like Colorado and Michigan have used for funding. It is something that I think engages Minnesotans more broadly and offers them an opportunity to contribute. We know Minnesotans like to contribute when they are given those opportunities. And so we see it as something that holds real promise for generating revenue as well as engagement with Minnesotans across the state.
And I want to make sure that I have a good understanding, and so do our listeners. Is that something that now in 2026 is happening, or is this going to be implemented in the future?
Yeah, great question. So this is something that last year the Minnesota legislature asked us to come back with a report that outlined a framework of how this could work. And actually, I'm happy to say we just submitted that report today. So we talked a little bit about Roundtable. We just submitted that report. That will be then under consideration by the legislature. So if they pass it in 26, it would take, a couple years to get actually all of the work done and implemented. And so we'll see, but it's something that, if people are interested in, we have more information on our website under For the Outdoors, and hopefully it will be something where, during the legislative session, people will have the opportunity to express their support for.
That is fantastic. Really, really exciting stuff. Folks, we're talking to Minnesota DNR Commissioner Sara Strommen. Sara, thank you so much for spending some time with us today. Our segment here and our time is coming to a close, but we just want to let you know how much we appreciate your willingness to come on and talk a little bit about this event and some of the really good things that are happening in our outdoors in the state of Minnesota. Thank you.
Yeah, happy to do it. And I love Roundtable, so I'm always happy to share the good news about it.
Excellent. Folks, don't go away. We are not done with Gone Outdoors yet. We do have to take a quick break right now, but as soon as we do, we will come back with a whole lot more outdoor talk.
The all-new Eskimo Outbreak XDP shelter gives you the same great fishable space as the original Outbreak, but packs down up to a foot shorter for easier transport.
Available in multiple sizes, the XDP features dual heat ports, giant windows, and an oversized carry bag. Whether you're camping for the weekend or fishing for the afternoon, the Outbreak XDP has everything you need for an enjoyable time on the ice.
Check out the all-new Outbreak XDP at geteskimo.com. Hey everybody, welcome back to Gone Outdoor Radio. You're listening on Kello News Talk or KWSN Radio in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, or the mighty 790 Fargo, Moorhead area, KFGO Radio. Scotty Brewer, Kyle Agre of Brewer Agre Outdoors. And we are going to head out to New York Mills in this segment, chat with Jeromie Johnston. He is the president of the Lund Boat Company. Jeromie, welcome back to Gone Outdoors.
Well, Scotty and Kyle, thanks for having me back. Really appreciate it. Excited to be here.
Yes, so we had you on about this time last year, and we were talking about your new tournament program that you guys were running. And but this time we wanted to talk to you just a little bit about boat shopping, because it's that time of year. Coming up next week in Fargo is the Fargo Boat Show. So that really gets a lot of people thinking about it. Although there's a lot of people thinking ice fishing, there's a lot of people thinking it's cold and icky outside, but it's really the best time to get out and start looking around for that new boat if you're going to get one, whether you're going to get one this year or next year, whenever it is. It's the perfect time to get out and do some shopping. And I think if they ordered a boat now, they could still get it by spring, correct?
100%. Even if it's not in stock at the dealer, there is still time to do an order out, and we can get that boat to you guys and to your listeners in time for spring season, for sure.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I've always felt is so special about having our Fargo Boat Show so early is people can order a boat, the color they want, the features they want, and when that boat goes through the factory, it has their name on it. I mean, it's their boat even before the boat is built. And I think that's so cool for someone that's going to make that investment for their family for the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, that it's their boat right from the get-go. And they can do that if they get there and they order that boat now.
Yeah, you bring up a great point, and if you want to get your boat, configured exactly like you want it. I mean, these folks keep these boats a long time, pass them along to the next generation, and but ideally they come in and buy a new boat every year. But I know that's not always possible. But ultimate savings is our best promotion of the year, and that's going on right now. So Scotty, to your point, another good reason to get out to boat shows, get to your dealer. And literally get the best deals of the year. It's the right time to buy.
One of the things that I've always loved about Lund is the fact that you don't have one or two boat models. You've got a whole lineup. I mean, the range, the features, the options are different. And as you said, within each model, you can customize it even further. But you guys are always looking, Lund Boats built by fishermen for fishermen. You're always taking the feedback and looking at the latest trends and technologies. What do you guys have coming new for 2026 in the boating realm?
Yeah, so really excited about two very different boats. So one of our new launches this year is the Crossover XS. So we've got an 1875 and a 1775 that, a lot of new features, sleek new curved profile, gives you the feel of a fiberglass boat, but it's all aluminum. There's no wood in the boat, brand new windshield on it. And some really nice kind of layout features, larger bow by 4 inches in the bow. It's wider, more room to fish. But the Crossover, as many of your listeners know, this is all about switching over to recreation, maybe in the afternoon. And a really, really cool, innovative feature new for this model year is a reversible lounger option. So you can use the jump seats facing forward, kick your feet up on the lounger, or prop it up and reverse it just like a chaise lounge and face backwards on the Crossover. So very innovative. Hopefully your listeners get out there and take a look at this new feature on the Crossover.
Yes, I looked at it online and I thought that was really, really neat with all the things that they can do with that. With that lounger, you can flip it one way, flip it the other way, you can remove it. There's so many different things you can do with it. And it's very innovative that you guys have done that. I'm really curious to see if some of the other models may come up with something like this in the future, but we'll just have to wait and see on that if that ever happens. Because that really takes that crossover truly from a fishing rig to a relaxing family fish and ski style boat very quickly and very easily, and you don't really have to haul things in and out of the boat. So you also redid the Explorer. The Lund Explorer has been a staple in the lineup for many years. And you guys now just came back out with that boat again. Let's talk about the Explorer a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's kind of at the other end of the spectrum, a very approachable fishing focused boat. So it's back to basics, everything you need, nothing you don't type boat, based upon the Alaskan hull. So very stable, easy to control and maneuver. And it's really no frills. So it's both in the 17 and 18-foot lengths, right on the money. I think your listeners that are focused on fishing are going to love it.
Yeah, and I think the value of that Explorer is unbelievable for what that boat costs, the things that you get out of it. Like you said, you get wood-free construction. It comes in a 17 and 18 and a tiller, a side console, a full windshield,
Right.
whatever you need. And you can customize it for whatever your needs are. If you want more stuff, you can put more stuff in it. Or if you just want basic, you can have basic. It seems like it fits a lot of people's wish list for a boat. And I'm really curious to see how many of them end up selling this year. It should be a really good seller.
Yeah, already getting a lot of interest. And you mentioned you can configure the boat to your needs. So you can choose to get a center rod locker or just a center storage option, or just leave the bow open for kind of more accessibility. So likely going to see these boats show up at camps as well. So we have an outfitter edition that has no bottom paint at all. Kind of a cool look as well.
I love it. And just to encourage our listeners to come on out next weekend here at the Fargo Red River Valley Boat and Marine Products Show. Ray's Sport and Marine, sponsor here of Gone Outdoors. They're going to have a huge selection of Lund boats. And I know it's one of the fun things that we always get to experience at the boat show, and that is we have factory representation. You're going to have folks here from New York Mills, from the Lund Boat Factory to answer some of those questions that really only the people that make the boat can answer. And I just think it's a great opportunity for folks to really do their shopping in comfort, see all the models, sit down, pretend to take it for a test drive, and get all their questions answered. So thank you for providing that support, Jeromie, for our local dealer, and making it a great experience at the show for folks listening in and attending next week.
Absolutely. Love the team at Ray's. Nobody better in the business.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you guys also use those shows to gather information from what the customers want, what the customers need, how they use the boat, and that helps you with future designs in the boat models. So that's pretty cool that it's such a give and take relationship. Jeromie, we really appreciate you coming on Gone Outdoors. We hope you have a great summer this summer.
Same to you guys. Really appreciate the opportunity.